Hey, what's up guys? Everything Apple Pro here, and today's the day iOS 13 is here. So Apple has introduced Beta 1, and it is available for testing, but Apple has not made it easy this time around. To actually install it, you need a device with the latest version of macOS or Xcode Beta, and it was quite a process to install. On half my devices, it didn't even want to, but in this video, I'd like to take you through it and show you the biggest features that have actually changed in iOS 13. So obviously, there's the dark mode, there's a lot of things that they've announced at their events, but there are so many tiny subtleties in iOS 13 as well. Now, the first one that I'd like to start with is speed. iOS 13 is actually quite fast. Even from the onset with iOS 13 Beta 1, I'm noticing a considerable speed increase. So Apple actually advertised that Face ID would be improving by 30%. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a comparable result here. So on the right is iOS 12.3.1, on the left is iOS 13. Let's see if we can get that 30%. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, yeah, honestly, it was faster, but let's see once again. So that was faster, once again, 1, 2, 3. This one's always kind of tough because you can't look at both directly, so let's just try one at a time here. Very fast, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, even the animation kind of speeds up. The lock is just a little bit quicker. And I love the way that the notification actually slides in, so kind of cool. Okay, so clearing all apps out, let's actually test out that 2x app increase speed. So starting with settings, 1, 2, music, 1, 2. iOS 12.3 appeared faster. Camera, 1, 2. Okay, this one did open faster on iOS 13. So let's try messages here, 1, 2. So pretty similar. I wouldn't say necessarily that much faster, but in some apps there is a little bit of an increase. Okay, and next would be the dark mode. So it's enabled here in the brightness settings. There's a new appearance for dark here. You enable it and the actual wallpaper will reverse itself. Sometimes it gets bugged, but it's supposed to actually reverse into a dark mode. And again, this one didn't work. So interesting. There are a lot of bugs here. If you're trying to update, you better live with the idea that there are going to be a lot of bugs on iOS. The UI itself did not animate, so I'm going to go over to my 10R to show you that, but let's go ahead and go to dark. And as you can see, the system UI elements actually change as well. Now this goes system-wide. You can't actually select which applications you want to go dark or not. You actually have to disable and re-enable every single time if you want to go back to the light mode. But definitely not a single complaint about it. It almost seems like you're jailbroken. So one of the biggest reasons I'm sure many people jailbroke, Apple just took that away from them. And in most apps, you're getting a true dark mode. It is honestly kind of cool. So I'm glad that Apple has finally added that. Also in iOS, there's a revamped system UI. So everywhere you're going to notice these rounded icons, things are a little bit more friendly. For example, the reminders application, Apple completely redid this app from the ground up. As you can see, it's more friendly, like things are more clickable. It's not as confusing to find options. So Apple has simplified, but in doing so made things look a little bit better. Icons, system icons just look pretty cool all around. And this is especially apparent when using the new editing feature. By the way, this is a pretty big one. So Apple has given us the ability to rotate photos, to crop them, or video actually. You can go ahead and flip those, rotate them. They've given us a lot of tools here now in iOS 13. And if you want, you can crop them and save it like that. So pretty dang cool. And as you can see, just the UI in general, very easy to click buttons, rounded, good looking, I'd say. And the volume HUD has now been fixed. So if you double click it, it goes into this thin mode. If you leave it be with just one, it's this thick one, which you can then manipulate with your hands. So pretty much like a miniature version of the one from the control center. And pretty cool. If you shrink it, then you can stretch it and go back. All around pretty nice. I just don't like the text up here. I feel like Apple's gonna get rid of that with future versions, but there it is. The complaint is now gone. Next up in the Messages application, as you can see, there's a new profile mode. So essentially, you're gonna be able to add your own profile in Messages. And if you wanna look at it, you can edit it. As you can see, you can set a custom avatar and then everyone sees you like that. And you'll see theirs by default. Also, there are now Memoji stickers, and you can go ahead and pop those in by default. Your personal emoji can be changed, and from that, bug, of course. And Memoji has a huge overhaul. Now you can actually adjust so many little things like tongue piercings, earrings, eyewear. Apple has added complete customization to this. And through this, once you're done with that, whichever ones you use, you'll have some automatic stickers available here whenever sending in iMessage. So they'll pop up here. Go ahead and pop them in and send them on its way. And also here's that option to share the name and photo. So you can go ahead and click share and it'll ask you what you want to use. So let's see what there is. You can actually use your Animoji. Cool. I don't think I'm supposed to be seeing this here. It's covering the system UI. It is full of them, absolutely chock full of bugs. And probably one of my favorite updates is the Photos view. So now in the Photos application, you can zoom in and zoom out and scroll and see all of them. It's just very, very intuitive. And once they get the polish right, man, this is gonna feel amazing. Now, another great feature is days. On this day, you can actually see exactly a year ago where you were at, and it'll repeat that every single year. So the longer you keep your iPhone, the longer you stay in that ecosystem, the more interesting it gets in a way. Same thing with months. So it gives you a little preview here, allow you to see more information, more photos for the time being. Just very, very cool, man. I love this. One of those cool little subtle touches like live photos that I think people are really, really gonna love. And the Maps application has seen a complete revamp. So Apple drove over 4 million miles to rebuild the Maps application from the ground up. We're not able to see all of those changes just yet, like look around. This was a big one in the keynote. I really wanted to try it out. It's a much better version of Street View from Google Maps. You're able to smoothly transition from area to area, look around at a shop, click on it, and get the actual info for that area. All around beautiful, beautiful updates. And of course, it is supported in the new dark mode. So Apple Maps now has this beautiful look. So it goes easy on your eyes, even in the dark. Okay, and there's a new app called Find My now. It replaces Find My iPhone and Find My Friends. Well, combines both of them. The best thing about it is the Bluetooth beacon feature. So when your device goes into sleep mode, it'll still send out a very small packet of data through Bluetooth to other Apple devices in the area. And I was a little skeptical at first, but Apple said it is encrypted, so there's really no issue there. It's just a more reliable way to track your device in those rare emergencies. So a very good one from Apple. And HomeKit gets some very nice upgrades here. First off, you can look at security cameras from certain providers. Now with my Nest setup, I cannot, unfortunately, but everything is done on device processing, then it uploads to the cloud. It never goes to the actual manufacturer. So hopefully Nest can get on board there, but HomeKit has been reworked and they've actually adjusted the application just a little bit. Overall, very subtle updates. And AirPods. So in iOS 13, you can now simultaneously connect to 2 pairs of AirPods. So I'm gonna pop all of these out here. So I'm gonna connect to one and then another. And look at that, there is Bluetooth 5.0 at work. So you are able to connect and stream audio to 2 separate pairs of AirPods. And I gotta say, it's a little buggy, but it does work. We did try it out and it seems to play at usual volume. Here we'll go through Spotify. Spotify doesn't know what's up here, but as you can see, we are streaming to 2 versions of AirPods. Very, very cool. So I never thought I'd see this feature this early, but I'm glad Apple added it. Definitely saves you in those emergencies or on a plane when all you have is AirPods and no way to connect to one device. So thank you, Apple, for this one. Now, a feature that hasn't yet been implemented, sign in with Apple. One single sign-in service in every single application on Safari, basically everywhere. You don't share your personal data with those companies. It's going through Apple. And they create burner emails. It's just an all-around brilliant system that solves a problem basically no one asked Apple to do, but I'm glad it's there. And the Reminders application, completely revamped, redesigned, and easier to use, more organized. It's very bubbly. This basically is the entire iOS 13 UI in one application. I like it a lot. You're able to create reminders much easier. And then if you want to go in here, you can go in through all the details, but overall, very easy to navigate and use. And the CarPlay app. So I don't have a car to show you this on, but CarPlay has been redesigned. It's now sectioned off and it'll give you suggestions. So depending on what you're doing, where you're at, maybe you're pulling up to your house, it'll give you the garage door open suggestion. And I'm hoping to test this soon. I'll get a CarPlay retrofit on one of mine. But yeah, there's that one. It looks really cool. I'm glad that Apple's sticking with the times here and updating one of their most important user interfaces. And lastly is the wallpaper situation. So there's an option here to dim the wallpaper when you enable the dark mode. There are a number of new wallpapers, not that many, I believe 4 new ones on the iPhone. But overall, I'm still grateful to get them. They're really, really great. I like them. All right, so there it is, guys, the biggest changes in iOS 13. I'll be releasing more individual smaller changes as we go, and those are discovered. Now, I'll be doing a separate one of these for the iPad. There are simply too many features to list as it's its own OS now, iPad OS, and I'll have that out later tomorrow. Otherwise, iOS 13, I really wouldn't say I recommend updating at this point in time. Even Apple has a warning on their website to be cautious unless you're a developer. Do not install this on your daily device, as I've noticed numerous bugs that simply did not exist there before, hesitations, stuttering. I don't even think we're seeing the full gains of the speed differences because of the bugs. So stay tuned on that. I wouldn't jump the gun just yet. It is a cool OS, but is it worth updating to just yet? I'd say no.